years now, actually. Thank you for recording this meeting, Jason. So we're excited to finally announce that we have received authorization and funding to move forward with this. It is a huge step and something we're really, really excited about here at Maine EMS. Is something that we can bring to the services directly and help, hopefully, support EMS clinicians in their day-to-day work, making it easier, smoother, and to increase the safety of our system. I just want to double check. Jim, have you been able to make it from Newcom?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Perfect. Okay. So Jim from Newcom Global will be co-presenting with me. I will go ahead and apologize because I took our presentations and molded them together, and Jim hasn't seen all of the presentation yet. But Jim, just letting you know, there's nothing on the slides that you haven't already seen. It just looks
Not a
different.
problem. Not a problem.
Yeah, just looks different. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with the agenda. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cover overview, background, and the idea. Then I'm really going to cover and turn it over to Jim to talk about Newcom Global, what they do, how they work, and the equipment, some examples of how it works, an installation overview, and then we will talk about the process. How do you go from not having it in your truck today to having it in your truck, hopefully in the very, very near future? So an overview. What we're really working on is improving safer roadways using V2X technology. And when we say V2X technology, that is vehicle to everything. The X means everything technology. So you may have heard of vehicle to vehicle technology, where your car can sense that there's another car in the lane next to them, or can even talk to the other car in the lane next to you. It's becoming more and more common in vehicles as we have greater connectivity in our vehicles. You also may have seen vehicles that have V2N, which is vehicle to network technology, where it's able to connect to the internet. Many cars are being sold today with, oh, it has 5G connectivity. There is vehicle to pedestrian, and there's vehicle to infrastructure. So with this technology, we actually are going to be deploying vehicle, or what we'll refer to as responder to infrastructure and responder to vehicle technology to help make our roadways safer. So that way, when there's an emergency vehicle on the roadway, it's able to not only communicate with the infrastructure, the signage on the side of the road, but also with other vehicles who are approaching a stopped ambulance or an ambulance in motion with their lights and sirens activated. It's able to message that vehicle or their Waze app or another mapping app to alert them that there's an emergency vehicle coming. We also will be incorporating high-speed internet connectivity that has the capability of casting a Wi-Fi area around the ambulance. The idea behind this is increasing EMS capabilities to communicate with the hospital, to author patient care reports, to access patient care information. Maine EMS has received funding to be able to do patient lookups, where in the near future, God willing, that all of the things pan out as we have planned them, you will actually be able to query any patient you pick up. You'll be able to query their health information. So you'll be able to query their allergies, meds, etc., using the health info net, and using technologies that we have now through ImageTrend. You will be able to query their medical record and incorporate the most up-to-date health information about that patient directly into their health record. This is really important if your patient's unconscious and you have like their driver's license, or you have enough identifying information to do that, to perform that query. You will now be able to do that in the back of an ambulance using high-speed internet connectivity. Also, this also has the capacity to facilitate telemedicine and other opportunities that we have in the EMS system, especially those within community paramedicine, and bridging the gap between some of our most rural communities in the state of Maine, as well as from our most rural communities in the state of Maine to some of our more resource-rich areas like the city of Portland, Bangor, and Lewiston, Auburn. So really exciting about the capabilities there, and real-time resource management. So one additional thing that this will offer is it will have GPS capabilities to allow us to integrate with the CAD for real-time resource management, so that dispatchers will have the capacity to be able to see the real-time location of where your ambulance is versus where other ambulances are, thereby making it possible to have greater efficiencies in dispatching our ambulances throughout the state. Maine EMS in the strategic plan has indicated the need for a statewide interfacility transport program or system. This would help facilitate that process, having some way to know where, oh, there's an ambulance headed south from Caribou. I don't need to send an ambulance from Portland to up north. I can instead wait for that ambulance from Caribou and send that patient loaded back up north. So that way we can have better resource management and better know where those resources are in real time. So that's kind of the super high level overview. The background, so where is this all coming from? It's coming from a combination of the EMS Agenda 2050 and increasing greater connectivity and increasing the capacity for EMS clinicians to connect virtually with other healthcare professionals within the system. And it's also being funded and supported by the National Roadway Safety Strategy model, which is a safe systems approach. And this wheel here essentially defines what a safe systems approach means: safer people, safer vehicles, safer speeds, safer roads, and post-crash care. It's really important that we acknowledge that this is the first time that NHTSA in their national roadway safety strategies have identified post-crash care and EMS as being a critical component to the safe systems approach. What we are saying is that this project really meets multiple domains, including creating safer roads for responders who are working on those roads, safer speeds by informing drivers about upcoming hazards, safer vehicles by sharing locations with other vehicles, and improved post-crash care because it accesses technologies and the internet and other resources to improve the quality of post-crash quick care. This is really important because this is how we justify this type of programming and project with the federal government to pay for it. And so what we have done is we've submitted a grant through the State Highway Safety Office in the State Highway Safety Plan, which is developed by the Bureau of Highway Safety, which is also within the Department of Public Safety. And there's an emphasis on rural communities because majority of our roadway fatalities are associated with rural roads. The reality there is that majority of Maine is rural. However, I will tell you that this project, our initial emphasis will be on rural communities. They will take priority, but every community in Maine is eligible. So just because Portland's not rural doesn't mean that it's not eligible to receive this benefit and this program. But I will tell you that if it's deciding between, are we going to install in Jackman, Maine, or are we going to install in Portland first, the grant is going to dictate that we have to go to Jackman, Maine first. But that said, everyone is eligible to receive this. So the way it works is that by connecting these resources together, when you have an ambulance with their lights and sirens activated, or just their lights if they're pulled over on the side of the road, that ambulance will be able to send a signal to the cloud, essentially, which will then notify drivers via their Waze app, or if they're in a Stellantis vehicle, which is a Dodge, a Jeep. There's some other brands that are under Stellantis. But if they're in a new Stellantis vehicle, it's built into the system, and other car manufacturers are joining that as well. So there will be new models over time that will be able to receive these notices, and the roadway signs on the side of the road oftentimes have funny "don't drink and drive" or "slow down" messaging. In the event there's an ambulance stopped ahead, that messaging can change in real time to reflect that there's an emergency vehicle stopped ahead. I'm sure many of you are very familiar with the news cycle that spoke about the recent incident where multiple state troopers were, or state police officers were hit along the side of the road and incurred multiple surgeries, were in ICU. Luckily, they are all doing well. However, those are the types of incidents we want to avoid with our EMS clinicians. Additionally, while on scene, the EMS clinician would have capacity to access high-speed internet via the Wi-Fi signal that would be broadcast from the ambulance. And so they could use their iPad or their laptop to access the internet if needed. Hopefully they're not on the side of the road playing on the internet, but at the same time, they have the capacity to do so. So I'm going to turn it over to Jim from Nucom Global, where he can talk about who they are, what they do, and then we will go from there, and we have a question and answer period. I see that there's one question from Dan, and just following up and nipping that one. Dan, that technology is something that we are working on with HIN to have a custom lookup capability for the patient lookup, but we do have ongoing conversations with No2 should that project fall through. So we have a backup plan, but you are very well informed. That is one technology that will be able to do that, but we are trying to do it directly with HIN instead of having to go through a separate vendor. Jim?
Thank you, Director Early. Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Carmen. I am with Nucom. I'm the project manager for this engagement within the state of Maine. Some of you on the call are recognizable names, and we've done some business throughout the state over the years. Nucom's been around about 26 years. We specialize on public safety and vehicle solutions, all the way through to the data center. So people come to us for wide ranges of technology and to enable their systems to be integrated. And so when we first paired up with Sam, 2 years ago now, we started taking the vision of a connected medic and a connected EMS and putting this whole solution together, bringing in some best in breed technology and coordinating with our teams for on-site installation, integration, and overall project management of this entire solution. So rest assured, we've been there, we've done that. We've been to Jackman, we've been throughout the state, and over the 26 years, we've touched a wide range of vehicles, specializing in emergency vehicles and apparatus, and you're in good hands working with the team here at Nucom. So just a quick overview of the type of equipment that we've selected for this particular project. You'll notice FirstNet. We did some evaluation within the state and worked with a number of carriers to determine that AT&T and FirstNet have really truly developed the best overall network. And so each ambulance that we're addressing will be equipped with priority and preemption and unlimited data on the FirstNet network. We're going to capture that data using a Cradlepoint router. Some of you may be familiar with those devices. The reason that we went with that particular piece of equipment is the ability to integrate additional solutions easily. So we're deploying a fairly minimal level of equipment into your vehicles. The high gain roof mounted antenna will support both your GPS, Wi-Fi, cellular, and radios. And we'll be able to integrate in the AVL GPS system, which we will work to integrate with dispatch as well, giving everybody a single pane of glass to see where your fleet is, and giving a dispatch the ability to see truly the whole state, where every EMS vehicle is, and be able to really speed up efficiency for deploying services. And then, of course, the HAAS Safety Alert, all running through that Cradlepoint, all piggybacking on that AT&T FirstNet signal. So regarding installation, we know how difficult it can be to get professionals that are accustomed to working on sophisticated equipment. So we have a dedicated staff. We have a team that will be touching every one of these vehicles. We can work with your team or come out on site and make this stuff happen. You can see some images here of the installation that we did for the University of Maine's UVAC. You'll notice on the ambulance facing forward, the small white antenna at the very top. We're going to place that up as high as possible so that we can really radiate that signal out and get it away from any interference. And then you'll notice that the work that we do is very clean, very professional. This is a top-notch services going into the vehicles. And this is on site. So our team touches on average about 15,000 vehicles a year. So we are accustomed to installing lots of different equipment on vehicles across the country. We're quick, we're efficient, we're easy, and we warranty all of our work as well. Part of our process will be configuring things like NetCloud, making sure that the HAAS Alerts is functioning. So truly hands-off capabilities for your teams, as we'll make sure that everything is fully functional before we pack up our bags and leave your station, your site. As far as the HAAS Alerts go, just a couple screenshots. I think Director Hurley really touched on its capabilities. This is a growing solution, so we're seeing more of the auto manufacturers jump on board with this. Things like Google and Apple Maps, should be provisioned and on air before too long. And the idea here being, just like we all get the Amber Alerts on our phones, and if you're like me and you've got multiple phones, they all go off. This is in the vehicle, letting you know that there's a emergency vehicles on the road. And Director Hurley, I'm seeing some questions come in. Do you want me to address those while they're coming up, or we want to save those?
Either way, I'm fine either way.
Okay, cool. So the last one here from Alan, if you already have a service or a gateway installed, that's fine. What my team will do with you is we'll help you evaluate, is there a benefit to keeping the solution that you already have deployed, or are you going to be in a better situation by upgrading to the new system? We certainly can remove old equipment. We also can add additional equipment to the equipment that you already have. So we'll address those with your agencies on a case-by-case basis to help determine what's going to put you in the best possible situation to get all of the services that are available. There's another question here from Dan regarding assistance with the integration for the CAD system. 100%. I've invited some of my team members to this call. No need to chime in at this point, but Nate Evans is a veteran within the public safety world and knows Cradlepoint NetCloud inside and out, came from the CAD and RMS environment, and we'll be able to, working with the manufacturers, working with your PSAPs and your CAD, be able to complete those integrations so that we have full visibility to all of your vehicles.
There was one additional question before that from Joe Kellner.
Oh, my goodness. 1 second. Autonomy to manage. Yes, absolutely. So we'll certainly help with setting up the account or integrating these new devices into your existing NetCloud account if you have that. We're not the team that's going to take over or lock these down in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, if you're using that motion for your VPN, or if you have an existing AVL or CAD tie-in, not a problem. If that's not in place, but that's the vision that you have as well, then we can help implement those integrations additionally. The cool thing about the Cradlepoint, as some of you know, is that it can send data to multiple places, and so we'll help get all that situated on a case by case basis. So just some screenshots showing you what the end users will see from a HAAS Alerts perspective. And then each agency will have a window into a portal, I'm sorry, so that you can see your vehicles and ensure that they're sending out alerts. Question from James here: after the first 2 years, can we transition it to a different cell phone carrier if desired? That's really a question for the state. As far as this program is concerned, the system's carrier agnostic. Again, we chose AT&T FirstNet due to some special rates and the coverage that we're seeing to be superior to some of the other providers. But if you swap out a SIM card or even went with dual carrier, one, my team could support that, and two, you would still get the same experience minus the priority and preemption that comes with FirstNet.
Yeah, so to piggyback on that question, Maine EMS is not necessarily obligating you to continue with FirstNet. What we would ask is that if you do opt into this technology, that you do continue it with a carrier of your choosing. We are working on potential sustainability funding so that this will hopefully be continued past 2 years. But this is what I have today. But I did recently receive notice that I likely will have some sustainability funds through a separate pot of money, but I don't know how long that will go. So the ask that I'm telling you today is plan for in 2 years taking it over. You may have extra money because I may be able to continue to sustain it. But I would rather you plan for taking it and me telling you, oh, you get to save money, than the opposite. And I think there is another question from Russell. What dispatch centers will be able to see vehicle locations? That will be dependent on your center and their ability to integrate with the CAD, their ability to integrate the data feed into their CAD. So we'll have to work with each dispatch and PSAP to do those data integrations. And while we can provide them all the information and the data feed and all of the gadgets and gizmos, their IT folks are going to be the ones that have to turn it on and to do those types of things. So it will be dependent as to whether or not your dispatcher PSAP can receive that into their technology. We know that some PSAPs are running old versions of their CAD. That's going to be a problem for them, but I don't have funding to update their CAD. So just putting that out there. So it'll be dependent on each center.
I think Russell's question, Director Hurley, would be directed to you as well regarding.
Yeah. So we are going into this with the expectation that services will continue to support these services after the funding runs out. That will be a condition, is that if we're paying for the several $1000s of costs to start up, that it isn't just going to go away when the dollars go away. That said, we will be working to discuss ways about potentially making it cheaper. For instance, if you don't want to maintain the service contract, to have maintenance and those types of things, or if you don't want to do some of these other things, you may be able to opt out of certain things. But we do want to make sure that these safety provisions that we're putting in place don't just turn off one day, because state of Maine EMS doesn't receive any more federal funding for it. And so it is a sustainability question of, is this something that your service is interested and willing to take on to make sure that you are increasing the safety of your responders when they're in the roadway, as well as connecting them to the internet, and doing all of those things. So it is one of those things where the expectation will be for you to continue it. Maine EMS is working to figure out what cheaper options there may be of potentially removing some services. What we will have to do is continue those services until the decommission life of the product, which, if I'm not mistaken, is 5 years. Because it's a federally funded purchased product, I can't get rid of it until 5 years. And so I would basically have a boat anchor in 2 years if you did not continue using it. And so that is something we will need to discuss is, hey, you do commit to continuing to support at least the connectivity to HAAS Alert, because that is what the federal government is paying for. They're paying for you to have that roadway safety, and I added on the internet and the other things. Okay. We'll go on to the next slide.
Okay, and so Director Hurley, thank you for leaving this in here. So Newcom is a brand with a wide range of products and solutions. We do have contracts with the state of Maine, as well as throughout the state of Maine. We are on SAVIC. And so as a benefit of working with us, you do have capabilities for additional products and solutions as you see desired or necessary. If you have additional apparatus on site that you would like for us to address while we're there outside of the project, we're happy to coordinate that as well. So just know that as a partner with Newcom, you have full access to our team and our capabilities and our product portfolio, and we can very easily add additional things while on site. For instance, the 360 cameras, which we're seeing tremendous benefits in increased safety and fewer minor dents and dings to your ambulances by having full visibility around the vehicle, radios, computers, etc. So if there's a piece of technology that you're interacting with today or that you wish you had, chances are you can get that directly through Newcom under one of our many contracts within the state of
Maine. Okay. So just to kind of go over the process. So it's first completing the interest form. Many of you have completed the interest form already. What we will be doing is your interest form information, your contact information will be forwarded to Newcom, and Newcom will coordinate installation and setup of services. Maine EMS does not have the staffing bandwidth to support the program management of this program, and so we are deferring that to Newcom. And so we're just going to connect you to Newcom, and we will pay the bill, which is nice. But luckily, Jim and Newcom will be your primary points of contact for the installation. I will tell you, we have not sent your information to them yet. So if you haven't received an email from them yet, that's because you shouldn't have. We are finalizing the MOU that transfers the $1.5 million that's going to be paying for this project to Maine EMS so that we can actually pay for things. And that has not been signed off yet. but we already have the federal authorization. I already have the things I need. I'm just finalizing the MOU. So until I have that signed and a transfer in place, we will not be sending your information to Newcom, but we anticipate that coming very early in October. And so you should anticipate, if you've already submitted your interest, you should receive information from Newcom in the very, very near future. So the next slide is questions. I know we've been answering questions along the way. I do see that there have been a couple of new questions in the chat, and there is a question in the question and answer section. The question and answer section question's been there a while. Jim, do you want to answer that, or one of your team members answer that?
Yeah, there's a outside of chat, there's the question and answer.
Yes, I will read you the question.
Okay, cool.
A few questions. What is the brand of the modem? We are currently using FirstNet and have static IPs on our modems that will simply transfer over. And finally, if we go with the new system, after the 2 years, are we committed to the 190 per month, or can we change the plan that we have? So I think I've already answered the second half to that about the $190 a month, but the first question, do you mind?
Yeah, regarding the modem, the Cradlepoint routers have the ability to connect and share information with a number of common modems out in the world. What we would do is consult with your team. I'd bring in Nate. We'll look at the equipment that you have currently and determine how easy that is to integrate, or can it be integrated with the new system. Are you better with the new system, or does what you have complete the function in a better manner? Things like static IPs, not a problem. We can manage those either with your existing equipment or with the new equipment. So I would say on a case-by-case basis, before we arrive on site to start drilling holes and connecting equipment, we'll do a deep dive and fully understand what you're using today, and provide you some guidance on our recommendations of what equipment makes the most sense for you to have an optimized vehicle and fleet.
And Jim, I think you answered this in the chat, but Ben Wallace asks, we're having trouble calling the hospital from our personal cell phones within the patient compartment. Will this help address that?
Yeah, and I called out the fact that the Cradlepoint router, the FirstNet service, and the high gain antenna really create that ultimate environment to be able to grab a signal and disperse a signal. And so, as a FirstNet partner, as we continue to move forward, there is the opportunity to offer FirstNet for your personal owned cell phone services as well. But just using your existing equipment, we have the ability to do Wi-Fi calling in most cases. So you can leverage the Wi-Fi network that's being created inside your ambulance to improve your cellular reception and be able to make and receive calls. As part of the additional equipment capabilities, there is a service called HPUE, which is high performance user equipment. And what that does is basically amplifies that FirstNet signal. And so in some really remote areas, that some of the installations that we've done throughout Maine already have incorporated HPUE, which is a separate modem that runs through the Cradlepoint router and really amplifies that FirstNet signal. And so again, on a case-by-case basis, we'll always be doing that evaluation and helping you to determine any additional recommendations or how to optimize the capabilities of your fleet.
The next question I see is this only for ambulances? Can we have the system installed in a medic fly car? So I will answer that question. So this can be installed as long as Jim's team says that the vehicle is capable of supporting it in any vehicle that's licensed by Maine EMS. So if you have a medic fly car that is licensed by Maine EMS as a response vehicle, we can install it in that vehicle. The caveat is that that's how we calculated the amount of money we were applying for is based on the number of vehicles. And so if um, it's not a licensed vehicle by the state of Maine, I don't necessarily have money to pay for it. So, but if it is licensed, um, and if it's something that you don't have a license now, but you're potentially interested in getting licensed, let's talk. Because I know there are some people who already have this technology that aren't going to participate in this program. So I may be able to accommodate a few of those, but and I did add some wiggle room, but I don't have wiggle room to do it in unlicensed vehicles. And the way I wrote the grant is it is specifically for licensed vehicles. So hope that helps to answer that question.
And there's a question about wheelchair vans, and I'll just add the NewCom note here, and then Director Lee, you can clarify that point. NewCom does hold several contracts, and so outside of the grant, outside of the program, if there are any vehicles that you want to modernize or you want to look at additional equipment or capabilities, then we would be happy to incorporate that into our engagement. Obviously the grant covers what the grant covers for licensed vehicles, but we can definitely extend tremendous opportunity and pricing for any additional vehicles that you would like for us to evaluate or consider or provide recommendations on.
Yeah. So regarding wheelchair vans explicitly, that's probably not, just because I don't know of any wheelchair vans that are licensed as EMS vehicles. So probably not for wheelchair vans. However, it sounds as though NewCom, if you were interested in acquiring this top technology or components of this technology, you would be able to purchase that separately through NewCom. Next question. That is all you, Jim.
Yes, our installers can certainly coordinate moving equipment from an older vehicle to a newer vehicle, and is that would be one of those one-off conversations where we would have to determine our process to make that happen. But we have that capability 100%.
And I will tell you, Maine EMS would like you to move that equipment
Of course.
to the new vehicle. We want you to be able to keep the technology.
Yeah, and our goal is to keep everything running and optimized and functioning. And we're here, and we've based on Director Hurley's vision, we've coordinated this to where your services are covered for the first 2 years, and so our job is to make sure that you guys are getting everything out of it and that it is functioning exactly like you expect. And we're really excited and honored to have the opportunity to work with each of you.
I'm going to defer to you all on the next one too, the impact of IM responding.
Well, and that's funny. I was going to refer to you. I'm not familiar with IM responding.
So IM responding is a off-the-shelf technology using smartphone technology. To me, this technology could potentially help support IM responding because you would have connectivity in the vehicle.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay,
it
and
should
I'm
support that.
looking at it right now online. So this would be one of those types of solutions where when we call to set up our on-site, bring this up, and then we can look at our capabilities or options to integrate within the Cradlepoint Net Cloud. Based on the website here, this looks like a very simple technology to work with, and we'll take a look on our end so that we're better prepared for the discussion. But we don't want anybody to lose any technology that they're currently using. that they have value in. We're looking to bring the new technology to modernize equipment and to get everybody on that level playing field, and to be able to do some of this advanced integration and provide more visibility into what's going on within the state. So keeping existing equipment, keeping existing services are completely within scope, and we're just looking to enhance, not change the way that you do business.
Okay. Any additional questions?
Another question, Sam.
Yes, sir.
Chuck Backman. I might have missed it in the beginning, but is there any availability of standalone vehicle tracking that would not only, enable either an ambulance or a dispatch center to see ambulances standalone outside of their dispatch system? And would it include all ambulances across the state?
So I can address that one, Director Hurley. With the system that we have built into this project, it's going to do a couple things for us. One, yes, you have that overarching visibility from a top level, but each individual agency can also, at the same time, without any additional cost, have their own instance. So if you have 6 ambulance in your fleet, you would have the ability to see just those and get the reporting, outside of your CAD, kind of in its own portal, its own pane of glass, and be able to see, performance of your fleet, miles, do maintenance records, things of that nature. And part of our engagement is to help you establish those accounts, help you configure them to where they're right for your agency, in addition to the holistic approach of giving the state and the individual PSAPs, visibility into the larger fleets, really drilling down and giving you some additional tools to be able to manage and guide your personnel.
Thank you.
Yep.
So Fred asks, what are the thoughts on installing this on non-transporting ambulance services versus such as first responders? Fred, this can be installed on vehicles that are licensed with non-transporting services. So if you have a quick response unit that's licensed by Maine EMS, so it has all of the quick response resources on it, has all of the required equipment on it. If you have a vehicle that's licensed by Maine EMS, we can install it on that vehicle. But if you don't have a licensed vehicle, we won't be able to install it unless it's licensed. So yes, non-transporting services are eligible to receive these benefits as long as the vehicle is licensed by Maine EMS. The next question, Jim, I think you will probably be best to answer. Will this track loaded miles and connect them to our MEFRS EMS reports? I don't believe so, because it's not recording your loaded miles, and there is no integration with image trend. So it doesn't actually talk to image trend. It just connects you to the internet. And Jim, the next one is yours.
Yeah, the radio comms. I mean, that's something we've got to take a close look at. I mean, the antenna that we proposed can connect to your radios as well, as separate elements for that radio traffic. And so I know there's a lot of flavors of radio out there, and so that would be something we'd want to take a closer look at, to really provide you the clear answer. I think my response here was radio, and I put radio over IP. Yes, and the antenna will improve reception. But as far as your traditional, low band radios, I'd want to compare the antenna that you currently have, and be able to give you a real answer regarding which one's going to give you better reception. but that's something in our wheelhouse and in our capabilities to do.
Any additional questions that we can answer? Okay. Well, again, this isn't the last time you've heard of us, heard from us. We did record this presentation, so you will be able to go back and look at it. We will put this on our YouTube channel, and send it out to all of those individuals who registered for more information through the forms, just because I don't have everyone's email address from today's meeting. If for some reason you haven't registered through the forms link that was sent out through the operational bulletin, don't hesitate to put your email address in the meeting chat, and we will make sure you are added to that list to get that information should you need it. Additionally, as soon as the agreement is signed with the Bureau of Highway Safety and the monies are in movement, I don't even need them in my office, I just need a signature. Once they are in movement, I will send your contact information, if you have provided it through that form, to Newcom so that they can reach out to you about setting up installation and answering any specific questions you may have. I know that there were a lot of specific questions in today's question and answer period about will this technology work, etc. And they will send that information to you. Otherwise, I believe that is it for today. I really do appreciate everyone joining us, and I hope everyone has a great week. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you.